to try to see if I can
No, fair
change
enough.
things up a little bit. So when Flag scores a critical hit, there's a chance for 1 ammo to be added to their magazine. Mine's currently at a 60% chance. It maxes at 72. I just haven't found the class mod with that extra
Particular.
one.
Mm.
Um, Whenever Flak kills an enemy, he gains increased reload speed. This bonus is increased if Flak scores a critical kill. So right now I'm only getting 3% reload speed and 6% critical kill reload speed on that because I've only got 1 point into it.
So
Let's
basically, you're
see.
playing the game more like Destiny, whereas in Borderlands 2, you really just went for fucking shots on target, where now you're going for more of a zero build.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm just really enjoying it, especially with the Jacobs weapons in this game, because if you score a critical hit, they deflect bullets out towards enemies.
Hmm.
So I'm basically
I,
running a fucking Jacobs critical flak build.
I saw the legendary Jacobs shotgun in one pump.
See, I don't even
uh,
have that one yet. I haven't farmed all the bosses in the game. I only really farmed the end game bosses once I finished the story. I didn't farm shit before I finished the story, dead ass. I didn't farm a
how
fucking
was it?
thing. I played straight through. I fucking loved it. It was amazing. It took me almost 24 hours to do everything.
Oh, so kind of like the time requirement it took to complete Division Two's campaign then.
Basically.
Huh, pretty good.
But it felt really long.
Yeah.
Like I was like halfway through it and I had already fought two like big bosses by this point, and I was like, bruh, like I've got to be close to done. And then it kept going and going and going. And I was like, oh my fucking god. Let's
Heard they
see.
I
I've
also heard
got
they managed to get Handsome Jack in the game too again still.
yeah. I've got one ability here. When I score a critical hit, there's a chance that my action skill cooldown's reduced by 30%. Well, it's a 30% chance for a 2-second cooldown reduction, which is fucking huge considering I score crits constantly. Um,
Hmm.
Two Fang, the perk that Zero had in Borderlands 2,
Yeah.
Flak has it. So I've got a 25% chance for an extra projectile per shot. Um, I've got
Fair enough.
100% skill duration and 30% bonuses to my skill effects. Um, Okay, this one's dope. Whenever I kill a badass or stronger enemy, I gain increased crit damage, gun damage, and handling for a long time. Additionally, I receive a cash reward from the Intergalactic Bureau of Bounty Hunting.
Hmm.
So I get 17% gun damage, 6.7% crit damage, 25% handling for 120 seconds.
What? Huh?
2 fucking minutes. And that's not even
What?
maxed out. Well,
Nigga, the
the
fuck?
duration's maxed out. The duration stays at 120, but my bonuses could go up to 25% gun damage, 10% crit damage, and 33.3% handling.
Fair enough.
Let's see. I gain increased gun damage and action skill damage, 15% and 25%. I deal increased critical hit damage, and enemies are less likely to attack me, 15%.
Hmm.
Uh, I gain a chance to score a critical hit with weapons against any part of enemies, 20% right there. Um, and I mean, for the most part, that's it. Like, that's the key fucking.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
synergy that you got.
but see, I've got a perk over here. While above half health, I get fucking 17% increased gun damage and 6.7% movement speed. That helps me speed run through shit. I've got
Yeah,
Lick the Wounds, so if I go into fight for my life, my pet can revive me since I'm playing solo.
it's
While
really useful.
while moving, I constantly have health regen and damage reduction, and if I stop moving, I gain gun damage and fire rate.
Hmm.
So I get
So you
0.9%
gotta know how to,
health
yeah, balance it.
regen. I get 17.4% damage reduction while moving. And then if I stand still, I get plus 25% gun damage and 12% fire rate, which would go nicely with this increased 10% fire rate that I have up here. And if I reload, that stacks and doubles to 20 for 4 seconds. And then every time I shoot an enemy, I gain a stack of Furious Attack. For each stack, I gain 2% gun damage, 4.8% handling. Stacks max out at 10. So you're
Jesus
looking at
Christ.
20% gun damage and fucking 48% handling. And then
Huh.
I have a constant health regen of 1.5 a second, or 1.5% of my max health a second, and then an increased 30% health. That's the current build.
Fair enough. I take it your max level and all that shit.
Oh yeah, I didn't hit level 50 on this character.
I think
And then two of
the
my
one
action
bad thing
skill
I've heard about the game.
augments. So sorry, my fucking I'm using fadeaway as my action skill. So I cloak and turn invisible is basically like 0.
Huh.
But I can fire 3 shots while I'm cloaked, and each shot is automatically a critical hit. And while cloaked, I gain increased movement speed and health regen. So my fadeaway critical hit damage is plus 200%. Cloaked movement speeds plus 25%. It's on a 45-second cooldown, and the skill lasts for 15 seconds, but that doesn't calculate in my shit that I have that increases my skill duration. And then I've got one that increases my fadeaway duration, but takes
Mm.
away 50% critical hit damage. But I've already got so much critical hit damage that typically with fadeaway, once you shoot 3 times, you're out of fadeaway.
Yeah.
With this, I stay in fadeaway the entire duration of it, but I lose 50% crit damage. But I make up for it with my other skills. And then my other action skill augment is successive hits on the same target increase critical damage per hit. Unblinking eye resets every 3 hits. So I get plus 75% crit damage per hit. So that can stack up to 225% crit damage on one target.
Nice.
So it's a fucking nutty build. Like, it's
Yeah.
super insane, and I want to do like an in-depth video on it. I think I might have just done it, actually.
Just record
Dead ass.
what we've been
I
talking
might have
about.
just
Yeah.
done it. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead.
I wish I could say I'm gonna be back, but
action.
Did you come all this way for that busted